Hey everyone, this is Coloring Chemist. My name is Connie and welcome back to my channel. So this is my completed pages video for July 2025 and I did a lot and there's multiple pages in some of these books. I know I was saying before with my June completed pages video that I just was in a slump and I wasn't feeling it, and so I basically tried to change my mindset, my attitude, and because I felt like every time I went to put, color to paper, it just wasn't working out and it was ugly and I just was in, that mindset. So I just decided, based on, all the lovely comments I get from you guys and the advice and the suggestions, to just do it. Just put color to paper and whatever happens, happens. So that's what I did, and yeah, I colored a lot of pages in July. I'm pretty proud of some of these. So let's take a look. Move this stack off to the side. So as always, I did start with a mandala. And this is Mandalas with Beautiful Borders by Nicola Lehman, Volume 6. And I did that one. So it's basically just kind of a green, white, gold, again, alcohol marker background. And then gel pens. So you can see when I tilt it, there's lots of shine and glitz. So the super shiny, like the rings, that's glaze pen. And then I think these leaves are like super golden markers. There's some matte gel pens there. I think that's some of the matte hop, I think. There are some glitter gel pens. I think these darker green kind of swirls in here, that's one of those thick Languo gel pens, the calligraphy ones. And then white gel pen for the white flowers. Just some sparkly, just kind of green, gold, white. I'll tilt it so you can see the colors without the shine. And I actually felt pretty good about this one. So I thought, well, I'm going to get another book that's an untouched book. Because you guys know, earlier in the year anyway, I was trying to touch untouched books, color in them. So I grabbed this one. So this is Angela Porter. This is an older one called Joyful Gardens. It's not in print anymore. Oh, I can take the washi tape off though. I put a little piece of just patterned washi tape on my books on the spine that are untouched, so then I can quickly kind of look at my shelves and see which ones need some love. Oh, apparently that one left a little bit of, residue there. So I do love Angela Porter. And I started this page, and this page almost derailed me for the rest of the month because it is not good. I will show you. I don't know if it's the color choices I made. I mean, it's a wallpaper page, so I wasn't going for, shading or anything like that. And I was using brush acrylic marker pens, and I was trying to cover the black lines. And then there's some other gel pens, and then there was a little bit of like sparkle. There's like a gold gel pen. I don't know. It just was not. The further I went with it, the more I thought, this is not good. And it's still, I don't know, I'm still not a fan of it. The colors to me just don't work. And I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know. So this, and then the black background I put in. So this page almost derailed me for the rest of the month, which was sad because it was like right at the beginning of July. And I was mad and thought this page was ugly, and I just thought, ugh. Why do I even color? But then I took your advice, my own advice, and I thought, well, it is what it is. What did I learn from it? I learned not to use that color combination, and I don't know what else I learned from it, but that was a big one. So then, to try and get myself back on track, I thought, well, I'm going to grab this new color by number book that I purchased. Oh, I can take the washi tape off this now too. Doesn't always leave a residue. Just did on that one. But, oh well. And so this is the one that I showed in my recent haul video. It's from Amazon France. It's by Dessin and Tolera. That's the Florine Le Richon is the illustrator. I'll give you the ISBN for this one, if you like. I could give you the ISBN for the Angela Porter one, too, if you want. So there's that one. But, oh, maybe I can't. It's got it has a sticker over it. I have the ISBN somewhere else. But like I say, I think this one's out of print. Here's the ISBN numbers right there. You see them? Yeah, 2016. So this one's tougher to find. It's a nice book, and I like... Oh, my camera's... There we go. And I do like Angela Porter. The paper in here is odd. It's... I don't know. Anyway, moving on. So I thought, well, I'm going to do color by number, and I'm going to do it in this pretty new book that I have, because then maybe it will make me forget about that page in Joyful Gardens. So I did this one. And I think it did. So it's color by number. You've got all of the finished pages here at the back. So that's the one I did. I did this in mostly acrylic brush pens. You will see there is some kind of metallic shine. I took some metallic brush pens, acrylic, and did those. So you can see there's shine in various places. See? But if I tilt it, there you go, you can see the colors without the shine. Sometimes it got a little bit streaky. I was using the Guangna acrylic brush pens, and it did take a lot of layers for those brush pens to cover up the numbers and the lines, because of course, you know, they look like that, whereas the images that come out are quite simple. So I mean, there's tons of lines and little sections in this background, and to cover them all up with the lighter Guangna brush pen took a lot of layers. The flowers here are some gel pens, those thick Languo, so the white flowers and then the green leaves and kind of stem. There's no shading. I mean, I just sort of followed the lines of what was there. But I thought it turned out nice. And it just sort of, kind of, like I say, reset my brain to think, okay, you know, the last page was kind of a disaster. This one was okay. So I think we can go on to something else now. So this is a nice book, I have to say. The paper in here is really thick. Like, we're talking almost card. And there are some really lovely kind of seasonal images to color in here. So that's a nice book. I have not worked in this book forever. And this is one of the books that I hope one day to finish. So I'm kind of working back to front. I even colored the inside cover, although I haven't done that part yet. So yeah, I'm kind of working... Oh, I haven't done that. I'm kind of lie, didn't I? Back to front. So I should say I was working back to front. I kind of went off the rails with, or went off plan with the page that I did. But this is some of the earliest coloring I did. It's okay. It's all right. That was a pretty early one. And I did some pages here. I do like that one. And I was going to do this page, and I thought, you know what? I'm tossing all the rules out the window this month. I don't have to go in order. So I just found a wallpaper page that I liked. And I know pages like this drive a lot of you up a wall. And I get it. But I love pages like this for just, again, kind of resting my brain. Because once you sort of, and this one repeats, like there's a repeating pattern. So once you choose your colors, you don't have to think anymore. So I chose this. So it's a light green kind of background, you know, very traditional kind of green leaves. This is all Pitt pen and Stettler pen, except for the sparkly centers of the flowers. That's looks like a glittered gold gel pen of some kind. And The white flowers are a white, it's a white Languo gel pen. This one comes in the pack of 6. And then this is kind of the color that I see in my pastures right now. Kind of midsummer. There's a lot of wildflowers blooming, but most of them are purple, yellow, maybe a little bit of kind of a pale blue. But yeah, this just sort of reminded me, that's kind of what I was going for. It was kind of like these, and white, right? There's white daisies and white yarrow. And so I was just kind of going for the color palette that I see in my pastures. So that's what I did. Look, I mean, there's so much detail in there. But I enjoyed it. Believe it or not, I did. Oh, and there's a little bee. So there's a little bit of glaze pen on the bee. See the bee? Ooh, there he is. There's a little bit of sparkle on his wings there. And you can see the centers of the flowers a little sparkly. In the background, there were these little dots. I don't know if you can see them there. Like you can see them right around. So I just put a little dot of blue Pit pen on them and then put a little bit of glaze pen on. So I was trying to make them like raindrops, but I don't know if that actually shows up. They're very tiny and there's a lot of other stuff going on the page, you know, other shiny stuff. Maybe if I wouldn't have made anything else shiny, those would have shown up a little better. But if you can see, if I move the book, they do shine a little bit. There you go. You can see them a little bit. But yeah. So again, hadn't worked in this book in forever. So it was nice. It was nice to get something done in here. So that's Joanna Basford, World of Flowers. This is the UK edition. These older Joanna Basford books, I really prefer the UK edition paper because I can use my Pitt pens and my Staedtler pens directly on the page to blend. The US edition of these older books, because now I think the paper's the same between the two, but it didn't used to be. The US edition, the Pitt pens and the Staedtler pens don't work on that paper. For me, anyway. So there's that one. Is that the only one in there? I have to check. Some of these, there's more than one, yeah. And then this was another new book. So was this only in June? May? Gosh, I can't even remember. Now I can actually take both of these. So if a book has is untouched, I put a piece of patterned washi tape. And if it has a whip in it, then I put a piece of solid washi tape. And this had, and I consider a book untouched even if it has a whip, but I haven't finished at least one page. So that's why there's 2 washi tapes on there. But they can come off now. This is printed on watercolor paper. And it said in the description, so this is a Korean book. It's called Happy Time Workbook Series, In My Dream. I can give you the ISBN if you want to try and find it. I bought this on... Was it Etsy? But you might be able to find it on... Oh, camera. There we go. Like maybe Aladdin or someplace like that too. Yeah, it says it's printed on the same paper that the artist did the original artwork on. And it does feel like watercolor paper. Again, I don't know... It's pretty smooth, so maybe is that hot press? Is that what they call it? But I just thought I would do the first one. So there's the artist's original artwork is on the left, and then so you can see line work version on the right. It's very pale line work, so that you know you can kind of get that painterly effect when you do your own. So that's what I did. Now you can see I chose slightly different colors than the artist did originally. That's okay. My colors I think are a little bit brighter. These were a little bit more muted. This was with the Zig Clean Color pens. And, you know, I think this might actually be true watercolor paper. I said that before, and I think somebody, and I haven't answered their comment yet, but somebody did comment that, you know, in some of these other books where I was saying maybe it isn't true watercolor paper, it might be. It's just not the really good kind of, 100% cotton watercolor paper. So this might just be, what do they call it, rag. And so it's still watercolor paper, but, you know, in some of those other books where I was questioning, it's just not great watercolor paper. But this is pretty good watercolor paper because I was using the Zig Clean color pens, and I mean the colors blended, they moved, you know, that's kind of what I'm looking for. I don't think there's anything. Oh, in the very centers of these flowers, I made them yellow, even though they weren't over here. And then I put a tiny dot of like, actually, I think it's yellow glaze pen. So I don't know if you can see just the very centers of those 4-petaled flowers, maybe somewhere. There's a tiny, I mean, they're tiny. So there's I can feel them. There's a tiny little shine in the middle of those flowers. And I think that was really the only thing I used other than, just trying to think. Yeah, the Zig Clean color. Oh, I did bring in a white gel pen because I colored over the centers here a little bit, so I had to fix it. And so, like there's like little white. Can you see on these ones here? There's like little white, I don't know, something in the center of these, and in a few places I kind of accidentally colored over them, so I brought in a white gel pen to kind of fix that. And I think I also took a white Pitt pen, probably the brush one, and just put little dots, because I think I felt that I did these too dark, and so by putting these little white dots over top the Zig Clean color pen, then just lightened them up a bit. But yeah, other than that, just the Zig Clean color. And I really liked it. So I did that one. So lots of wallpaper pages this month, but that's okay. And then I just felt like I was on a roll with the untouched books. So now I can take washi tape off this one too. So this is one I got back earlier in the year. This is a South American book, I think. Malacara and Gale. Coloreanding Life. And I saw this on the Lovely Maya's page. And I can give you the ISBN for this one. But yeah, it's all Spanish here. And I did get it from a third-party seller on Amazon. I don't know if it's still available or not. So there's the ISBN there. And it's a very... well, yeah, here, I'll just sort of, show you some of the images. So it's very bold line work. So I did this one. And by this point in time, I was thinking, I'm just going to try things. And if they work out, they work out. And if they don't, they don't. So I did this picture. And what I tried to do was I tried to make it, because it's basically, it's a reflection picture, right? What's on this side is an exact reflection of what's on this side. So I did the same colors on both sides, but I wanted to make it as though this side was day and this side was night. Obviously, the blue and the black background. And then I sort of divided this sun, and so this side is the sun, and hopefully this side's more like a moon. And then, so this is mostly alcohol marker with just some gel pen and stuff on top for, you can see, hopefully, maybe you can, maybe you can't. You can see a little kind of sparkle and shiny bits and that sort of thing. But I did take a white, I think it's that same white Pitt pen, and I went over top all the line work on this side of the page, not this side. I didn't want it to disappear completely, so you can see it's not gone completely, it's just lightened up. Even in the centers of the leaves and that sort of thing. So I was just sort of hoping that it sort of gave more of that kind of nighttime softer look. I don't know if I achieved my goal or not, but it was fun to kind of play. So yeah, it's based same color, both sides. All the elements are colored the same. I did very little shading. Tried to do a little bit of shading and what have you on the leaves with alcohol marker, but I mean, not very much at all. I think this style of illustration kind of lends itself to kind of flat coloring. But yeah, I was feeling fallish. Not that I would have had to color these leaves fall colored. I just felt like it. I was feeling fallish and tired of the summer heat, bugs. some gold, probably gel pen around the outside there. Yeah. There's that one, Coloreanding Life. I think that was the only one in there. And Small Victories. So I had let's try to see if there's only one in here too. I had a background colored in here, black, and I colored it with the Zig, two of them actually. So I had colored it with this one, the Zig Art and Graphic Twin marker, which is a water-based marker, but it has a lovely kind of foam rubber nib, and it gives this really matte, like streak-free black background. I don't know if you can see, like, I mean, it looks like I painted it with acrylic, but it's not. It's just that marker. But it does seem to want to bleed through Joanna's paper, particularly in this book. Some books it doesn't, but this book it does. So I had done this background in black, and because it bled through, then I had to do this background in black. Just, I mean, didn't have to, but I just figured I would. And there were also some areas on the butterfly where the black had come through, so I thought, well, I'm going to color this butterfly. And I actually meant to color the other side of the page too, but I just didn't get around to it. So I just had a black background in here for quite a while. I did these two backgrounds quite a while ago. So I thought, well, I'm going to use some acrylic metallic pens to just do a base for each leaf, because that should cover up, you know, any of the black that had come through from the other side. And there wasn't actually that much black on the little teeny flowers and elements, so that worked out okay. There's a little bit, and you can actually still see it on some of the flowers, but that's okay. So yeah, acrylic, I think I was just using, I have like a 6-pack of these Artex brush. There's no, not a 6-pack, 12-pack, and there's 12 metallic colors, and they're quite opaque. So, and there's a nice kind of yellowy green in there, and then like a gold. And then everything else is Pitt pen. White gel pen for the white flowers, some super golden marker for the center, but all the colored, the flowers and stuff and the leaves, that's all Pitt pen. Center of the butterfly was Pitt pen, and then I put just clear glaze pen over top, so the body was shiny. This is white glaze pen. There is a white, not a clear glaze pen. It is number 850, I think. And it looks like it goes on clear, but then when it dries, it goes white. And I think that's actually maybe a couple coats. A little bit of black glaze pen where I did kind of almost like sunflowers. So there's probably a little bit of shine there. And then I was thinking, what do I do with this background? It's black. Could just leave it. But I thought, well, I'm going to try and do like again, was just trying to this month just let go of the perfectionism and just try things. If they worked, they worked. If they didn't, they didn't. So I wanted to do almost like a Milky Way kind of galaxy. Not a swirl, not a spiral galaxy, but just like a sweep of stars that kind of started and then got, broader and then went back down behind the butterfly. So that's what I did. And then just a few kind of white. So I did it mostly with white gel pens of different sizes, maybe some acrylic pens in there too, just to get different size white dots. I had a little stamp, but I took some silver ink and stamped. So there are some little stars in here that are actually star-shaped, like the 5 points. I took, I think, the Jelly Roll clear Stardust pen and did some dots in there too. I think I probably took the Sparkle Pop silver and put some dots. So it's white, but there's also some sparkly bits in there. I think it could have been maybe more, it looks faint on camera. It's not quite that faint when I'm looking at it. But I think it worked out okay. And then now I can color that. Just, I suppose, where the black background was, and when I was coloring it on here, it didn't actually end up, like I don't see any black on any of this image, so there's nothing for me to cover up on this side. Maybe a little tiny bit there, but yeah. So I did that one, in Joanna Basford, Small Victories. So 2 Joanna Basford pages this month. This means there's still a whip in there because, of course, I have that black background to color. I never did finish that page. That's finished. I think somewhere else I did a black background in here, maybe. Or I started something. I can't even remember anymore. But yeah, there's a couple whips in there. So I was feeling pretty good about coloring at that point. And I remembered that I had a background that I had done in here with tempera paint sticks. So these ones, right? I have a couple sets of them. I've got a couple sets of like some pastel colors and just a variety of colors. And then I've got a set of metallic ones. The metallic ones are super translucent. So what I like to do is I like to put down a layer of some kind of the colored ones first and then put this over top. And then that way it kind of gets a little bit rid of some of the, the patchiness or streakiness you might see with these. So I had done this ages ago. And I did it in gold. So the underneath is, or no wait, is that what this is? No, maybe this is something else. Because I see brush marks on here. Maybe I lied. Forgive me. Oh, right, because the black actually went through. Oh, you know what this is? My bad. This is, I think, the Daler-Rowney, the ink. And if I had to guess, it's probably maybe Belle Bronze. No, that doesn't look like Belle Bronze. I don't honestly know what this is now. I thought for sure it was the tempera paint sticks, but I don't think it is. Okay, never mind. It's some kind of metallic acrylic, maybe? Like, this page feels really thick. I think I had to put a number of coats on here. Like, this page feels really thick. So I think whatever it is, there's a number of coats of it on here. But you can see it looks a little, like if I tilt it right there, you can see a little bit of patchiness. But I think it almost makes it look aged. I don't know. You can see actually a tiny bits where the black came through from the other side, and this didn't quite cover it. So anyway, this background was done for a long time. So I just thought, well, let's just color the snake. Because there wasn't actually that much to color once, the background was already done. So I chose a green combination from my Pitt pens and Stettler pens that I don't normally choose. I don't normally choose, look at my color cards here. So when I'm pulling greens, I normally pull from in here. I tend to not use, kind of these or kind of in here. It tends to be the more olive greens. And I thought, well, I'm trying stuff this month. Let's use some of the ones in here. So I think I pulled 530 from the Stettler, maybe 513 from Stettler, and then maybe 539. So it was a very green combination, not so much olive. And I did put a little bit of this in my odds and ends video for July. So I did all of these scales like that. And when I was done, I just didn't like it. It just didn't, I don't know. I struggle. I struggle with greens. I struggle with those kinds of greens in particular. So to fix it, I grabbed my Pitt pen 104 light yellow glaze. This is a great Pitt pen. It's a great tool to have. And I just basically colored over the entire snake. So wherever the other Pitt pen was light enough that this would still show up, this gives it now a little bit of a, maybe more of a yellow green. I don't know. It just made it look better somehow. So you can see, I'm trying to show you without the shine there. And once I'd done the snake, it's still very green. I thought, what the heck color am I going to do these flowers? So I just went for yellow. I don't know, if I did it again, I might do it different. The green leaves, I did kind of some olive. Again, this is all just Pitt pen, Stettler pens. And then this little rope of pearls or whatever's in the background. I made those red, and I think if I was going to do this again, I don't know that I would do that. I would maybe make them like white pearls, because once I got to the little decoration on the snake's head, you can see that, I did choose to make those kind of white pearls instead of going with the red, just because the red wasn't doing it for me, but I'd already done all those little beads, so I thought, well, and I'm not good at coloring gemstones, so I tried to do like a little kind of star sparkle effect on this gemstone. I don't know if it worked. Tried to make it look like a diamond. I'm not sure that worked. But you know what? That's okay. It is okay. And then there's some gold gel pen on the stars on the snake. There's a little bit of sparkle gel pen kind of on these flowers. There's some glaze, clear glaze after I colored those little beads red. Then I put clear glaze over top, and then I put a white dot on top of each. If you can see that. See? If I tilt it, well, it's hard to get the shine of the glaze pen. There you can get it a bit, just because the background's so shiny. But I thought, well, then I was on a roll. Then I was on a roll with this. So I don't know, was being lazy. I thought, well, why don't I choose another page in here? I guess I could have done that one, and then I could have, finished that whip. But I don't know. I was just sort of flipping through the book. Oh, that's actually a whip, so I put a little bit of pink down there for a base. But I thought, I'm going to do another wallpaper page. And this is another one that it's on that same Coloring Odds and Ends video where I was talking about that light yellow glaze. So I did the background again with this pen. And it does want to bleed through this page's paper as well. But I knew this is not a page that I would color. I don't tend to like to color people, so that was fine. If I do eventually want to color it, I'll just maybe cover it up with acrylic marker, maybe. So the background was done with that. And then I sprayed it, because Pitt pens and Stettler pens don't work particularly well for blending on, so this is the Dutch version, right, of Jewelry Box. And the paper is wonderful, but it does tend to fight blending of the Pitt pens and the Stettler pens on the page. In fact, I think I sprayed this one before I colored it too. Yeah, I think I did. I did the background, then I sprayed it, then I colored it. And so it does give this funny kind of grainy texture, but I don't know, I just kind of went with it. So I did these leaves first, and I made them have like, bright almost yellow edges, darker in the center. You can see when I tilt this, all of the vines and stuff, see there? They shine. That's glaze pen. It's one of the colored ones. I think it's 830 is the number. And then I did some more leaves down here that were sort of a paler kind of I think it's that earth green. And then I started doing the flowers, and I did them sort of a combination of kind of purpley pink and then purpley blue. But they just kind of looked flat to me. So I had the yellow glaze pen out, and I thought, well, what happens if I put a little bit of yellow glaze at the edges of these pink and purple petals? Again, what could, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So that's what I did. So can you see the yellow at the edges of like the pink petals here? I think it gives a really neat effect. The purple is maybe a little harder to see. What I also did with the purple is, and you can see it when I tilt the page maybe a little bit, around the edges of the petals where I did the purple, maybe you can see it down here a little bit, I also took a sparkle gel pen, gold gel pen, and then went over top the yellow just to give the edges of the petals and the purple one, there, you can see it there, a little bit more of a shine. Right, you can see the edges of the petals sparkling a little bit. The centers are super golden marker, or maybe a gold gel pen. Centers of all the flowers are, because you can see it shining, right? Oh, sorry. But yeah. And, it's funny. When I quit worrying, that's when fun things start to happen, isn't it? It's really a lesson I need to remember. I don't know why I get myself in this mindset that, you know, if it doesn't come out perfect, or if I don't know exactly what I'm doing from the get-go, then I just get scared. I don't know. I don't know. I should not have myself in that mindset. So I did 2 in this book. So we did the flowers, and well, I did the flowers, and then I did the snake. Well, actually, I did the snake first. Sorry about that. Had to take a bit of a break there. A little coughing fit. The wildfire smoke has been pretty bad in our area lately, so. Where was I? Oh, continuing on. This is a long time whip that I've had, which means I can take these off. So the whip is done, and I now have a completed page in here. I love this book. But it takes a long time to do these pages because they're so detailed. And there's just so many tiny little things going on, right? So many tiny little things. But I love it. So I had started the first page in here ages ago with Albert Durer's, actually. Well, you know what? It's not actually the first page. The first page is the kind of character page. But I had started the background in this and probably showed it on some video as a whip, like ages ago. And after a while, I thought about doing the whole thing with Albert Durer's, but after a while, when I started back at it again this month, I eventually switched to Pitt pens and Staedtler pens, because it was just, I don't know. You go back to what you're used to, I guess. So I did this page. Now, we can see if my camera will zoom. It's been having some zoom issues lately. Is it zooming? Is it connected? I have a little... Yeah, that's not going to. I have a little... Nope, not gonna work. Never mind. Just to do the old school way. So, yeah, the background here is done with Albert Dürer pencils. I think probably activated with either a Tombow or like a little water brush pen. I did spray this page after I started, I think maybe after I did the background, because this paper doesn't play well with the Staedtler and Pitt pens. Now, when I say spray a page, I mean with the Krylon Workable Fixiv, right? So, now that I'm looking at it, yeah, so this is some Staedtler and Pitt pen, but also I think some Zig Clean Color brush pens to do some of the coloring. But there's just so much going on in this little page. And I did use the storybook that gives the... In fact, hang on, I'll just grab it here. There's 2 of them. There's Grand Old Oak and the Birthday Ball. I don't think it was that one. Was it this one? Yeah, it was this one. So this is Bear's Home. And there's mine. There's this one. This one is much bigger, and the coloring page cuts off kind of about there. Oh, sorry, you can see. About there. And I think I more or less followed the color palette. I tried to. But there's so many tiny little details. These tiny little ladybugs here. And I did some glaze pen, like on the ladybugs. I did clear glaze pen on the windows. I don't know if you can see that or not. See the window? Like there's glass. And the window's here. A little bit of glaze pen. There you go. You can see it a little bit better. But yeah, just a lot of very tiny fiddling. There's a little bit of sparkle, I think, on the snail shells. I don't know if that showed up or not. They're just so very tiny. But it was fun, and it was nice to see it done. I don't know that I'll tackle another one of these pages for a while, just because, like I say, I do love tiny little details, but this was so many tiny little details. But I think it turned out well. And again, glad to be able to, say this is now not an untouched book. Very nice. Getting to the end. So this is another book where I did 2 pages in here. So I started off by doing this one. And again, was trying to use some new supplies that I had purchased that, just hadn't been used previously. So the background here is done with the Mr. Pen, what do they call these? Gel highlighters. And so you can see this is, I think it's called Earth Tone Set or something like that. So this is a little swatch that I did. They're not named or numbered, so I just numbered them 1 to 16. So I used kind of some blue here. I did originally have like this kind of mustard yellow in the center, but I didn't like it. So I went over top of it with this aqua to kind of turn it. I'm still not really sure I like that. I think I should have done the whole thing blue. Like, I shouldn't have changed colors in the middle. But it is what it is. And because they're so transparent, you can't cover up like that yellow. I could change it, the color of it, by putting kind of an aqua over top. But I couldn't. It's not like I could go over this, the middle with this blue and get this blue. So that's okay. And then I used Pit pens for the rest. Some glaze. So the shininess is because I sprayed it with fixative. I just wanted to make sure that this didn't come off. So these gel pens or gel highlighters don't go down shiny. So if there's any shiny, that's the spray. But yeah, Pit pens just used to do, and I did the light yellow glaze on the edges of the petals there. I don't know if that shows up or not. Just kind of a peachy combination. The leaves, I think I just flat colored and then just put like cartoony kind of white highlights on them. And then all the vines I traced over with that green glaze pen. And it's hard to see just because the whole page is shining a bit from the spray. There's a little bit of sparkle on the buds. There's a few buds here and there. But yeah, just wanted to play with those gel pens and do a background. And I think to blend them out, honestly, I just used my finger. No, I didn't. No, I lied. I used... Where are they now? I used a silicone tool. I think this is for like nails, maybe? Like doing nail things. I just got them on Amazon. They're cheap. And I saw this tip on Jaya Colorist. Jody, her channel. And she was using these little silicone tools to kind of blend out those Bible gel highlighters. And they work really well. Your finger works too, but these work really well. And so I had 2 packages of these. There's like 5 in this package. It had like a darker wood handle, and there's like different shapes. But I found that shape. You see that shape? Worked the best. It's like a wedge. And then I had another package that had these. It's the same kind of thing, but they're slightly smaller. Also has a dotting tool on the other end. Again, I think it's for doing like nail art. But yeah, these worked really well to kind of get into, the little spaces between. And then the whole thing, I don't know, it had, just looked like it needed something else. So I took some white ink and spattered the whole thing. I don't know if you can see that or not. Maybe if I hold it up a little closer. Can you see the spatters on there? Some of them got a little big and some of them got a little oopsie. But I just put white spatter over top. There, you can probably see it there. Sometimes white spatter can just make things look, I don't know. Brings everything together, maybe. Maybe it looks like snow. I didn't intend for it to look like snow. This is a summer book. And then there was a page in here that I've always wanted to color. And was just feeling brave. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do it. So I did this one. A little camping page. I'm not sure what I think about the purple mountains that I did, but again, this month, I'm just sort of embracing what I've done, and it is what it is. So we've got, you can see it shining, some glaze pen on the windows. There's also some glaze pen on the like the vines in the middles of the leaves and stuff. There's a lot of green. I actually used pencil. I know. So you can see the kind of shininess of the pine trees and spruce trees in the back there. So I put down a base layer of, I think it was like one of the Zig Clean color pens, and then I used Polychromos and some of the other pencils from my Polychromos Plus set to do the pine trees. So they're a little shiny there. If I tilt it like that, you can see it a little bit better. It made my hand hurt. So, you know, I did all the shading and everything on all these pine trees with pencil. And then I gave up and went back to Pitt pens and Staedtler pens. I tried a different technique with some of the trees. And I don't know if you can see this or not. I'll have to get it up close since I can't zoom. Can you see on that tree right there? So I put down a base of like, I think it was the May Green 107 Pitt pen. And then I took darker greens and put teeny little spots all over the place. And I think from a distance, go back here, it just kind of looks textured. So, I mean, lots of Rita Berman's trees, I mean, they're not necessarily realistic looking, right? I mean, you've got these kind of lumpy trees here. You've got a tree over here that had like little circle spots on it. I mean, they're not meant to be realistic. So why not go for it? So actually all of the bushes here and these trees, not the pine trees, but the deciduous trees, I did that same kind of effect where I put a lighter background down and then just went speckly. I did this one kind of a speckly yellowy orange because it seemed to have a leaf leaving. So I thought, well, maybe this was her nod to it was just on the hint of turning into fall. And then down here, I had done this base of like a gray green, thinking it was like soil, and then after that I was looking at it thinking maybe that was supposed to be water down here, like maybe this was supposed to be like the river edge, but by that point in time it was too late. So I just again did that speckly texture with different Pitt pens and Staedtler pens. That took a long time to give the effect of, I don't know, like sand or rock or something down there. And then I colored in all these little rocks with I think that's acrylic brush pen. But yeah, it was probably supposed to be water, maybe. I don't know. But so it's not water, it's like sand or gravel or something. And then just went with a warm gray combination for the tents and for the camper. Put a little bit of blue and kind of it's India red. I think it's a Pitt pen India red color for like different accents and things. There's a little bit of sparkle on the fire. There's a little bit of sparkle on the stars and the moon up top. I don't know if that's coming through or not. Sorry, it's kind of other things are shiny on the page, but. And I actually went over the night sky here because when she prints in a dark background, let's see if I can find another page with a dark background. It's not super dark. Like here you can see that's not super black. And I just felt like the night sky wasn't black enough, so that's an acrylic brush pen, like just one of the Artex. So I just went over it was printed black, but I just wanted it blacker. But I think that one turned out nice. Lots of it's a lot of green, but you know what? If you're camping in the Canadian wilderness, there is a lot of green. There's not, I don't know that our mountains are purple, but sometimes mountains can be purple. I figured it was a little pop of color other than, brown or gray, or since I had all this brown gray at the bottom. Oh, the little owl and the bunny. The owl and the bunny, and then really, I mean, it was a lot of kind of background work, and then there was just 3 tents and the camper, and then kind of the little things that went along with it. There's a little fire with a tea kettle here, and I made that like bread in a little bowl, a little lantern, table and chairs or stools, fire and kind of a hatchet over here. Tried to make the little lanterns look like they were glowing. Yeah, it took a long time. I mean, this is a small page because Rita Berman books are typically smaller. It is a double page spread, but I enjoyed that one. And the last page that I did this month. Oh, put this in there. I like to put this in there just because I've got glaze pen on both sides of the page, and when I close the book, the two glaze pens kind of meet up, and I don't want them sticking. I mean, they're dry, but I just don't want them sticking to one another. I did another page in Angela Harding's coloring book. So I've really been enjoying this because her illustration style and her coloring style, because in the back of the book there are, her original artwork. And somebody had mentioned and I think I knew this too, these are lino cuts. That's how she does the prints. So yeah, she'll do a lino cut and then it looks to me like maybe watercolor, like it's a very loose kind of illustration style. And so it really is kind of freeing. You don't really feel like, I mean, lots of times she's not staying in the lines. She's purposefully going over her illustration lines. It's just, yeah, there's some really, I really like it. I did do the winter squirrel. I think that was the first one I did in here. I did the October owl last fall. And what I've been doing in here is this is all Zig Clean Color Real Brush pens. But I do spray the paper first with that Krylon Workable Fixative, and then they blend really nicely on the paper. There's a little bit of bleed through to the other side. Sometimes. It just depends on how heavily you go over an area. This past winter I did a winter one that was, I think it was called Hairs and Conversation, maybe? Yeah, this one. Did that one this past winter. And I sort of follow her illustration in the back, but not really. I mean, she didn't do that pinky sky. I chose to do that. I mean, when you have these books where you can follow other, the original illustrations, you can, or you don't have to. Oh, and I put sparkle on the back. That's why it's kind of shining like that. You can follow most of it and then just change some. You could not follow it at all. Earlier this spring, I had done that one. And then for summer, I wanted to do the one called, I think it's called The Common. So I did that. Again, changed up her sky. She just had like a, where's the original here? There. So I don't know if you can see. There's her original. She just had a blue sky with some white clouds. So again, I wanted to put a little color in the sky, so I made it almost like a sunset. That's what I was hoping for, kind of sky. There's some people out walking. We've got kind of a little sparrow kind of bird there. I did a little bit of sparkle and shine, a little bit of glazed pen on the butterflies in the center, and then a little bit of sparkle on the wings. But other than that, it's just Zig Clean Color pens. Just did a variety of kind of greens, some warm grays for the road here, some browns for the sign and the bird. And again, just some pinks and yellows and kind of corally colors, and then into blue for the sky. And these pages, they're just so loose. Like you don't really worry. Like all this green, one just kind of blends into the other. Although that can be tough. You have to be careful not to like overblend so it all turns into the same. I still wanted different greens in different areas, and I think for the most part I managed that. A little bit of kind of pinky purples for the flowers, white down here. Yeah. So that was, oh, hi Mr. Coloring Chemist.
Good evening. Oh, that's pretty.
Do you like that one?
I do like that one. That's very cool. Who's this one by?
This is Angela Harding.
That's an
She's
interesting
British.
style.
Well, it's lino cut, like she carves linoleum blocks and then does the print and then probably watercolors over top.
Really?
Yeah.
That is very interesting. It's funny. It's a lot of line and a lot of black, but
Yeah.
the color in behind really works.
Well, so that's what I did this month. Wanted to do a summer kind of sunset, people out walking.
I do love sunsets.
You do
I
love
do.
that light.
And the upper, the blue. I do love the blue.
You do. Blue is your favorite color.
But then the blue really pops on the butterflies.
Yeah?
I like that.
Do you like that?
I do like the blue on the butterflies. Yeah, very cool.
Well, thanks, Mr. Coloring Chemist.
Well, you're welcome. That's very pretty. I like that one.
Thanks. You're always so supportive.
Oh, how could I not be? It's very nice. It's beautiful. All your stuff is beautiful.
Aw. Well, now you're just making me blush. Okay, go away now.
Okay. Enjoy.
Thanks. Oh, Mr. Coloring Chemist cameo there. He is very supportive. I have to say. But yeah, so this was kind of the last one I did this month, and I really liked it. I could see myself finishing this book too. There's not a lot of books that I could say that about, but I think this is one of them. And they go so fast with those Zig Clean color pens because you cover, great big areas. I don't worry too much about shading, like, is this lighter, is this darker, is the shadow in the right place? Just very loose, big brush strokes. And I think it works out well. So we will leave that as the final image. That is what I colored in July. I'm just grabbing just to count here. I don't know how many pages I did in July. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh no, unlucky number 13. That's okay. I don't often do that many pages in a month. You guys know I'm a high school chemistry teacher. I teach online. And during the school year, I try and have some time to color, but I don't necessarily have, a lot of time. June, I seem to be still kind of recovering from the school year. My summer is kind of June and July, and then I start up again in mid-August. So July is really, my coloring month. So yeah, I guess it would make sense that I had the most number of pages, in July that I've done in a while. And will I do this many pages, in August? Probably not. We'll see. We'll see if I can get some coloring done. But I had a good month of coloring. I feel like I've maybe shaken off the slump. I feel like I'm just more likely to take risks. And you know what? That can really pay off. Sometimes it doesn't. Remember at the beginning of the video that Angela Porter page, that did not turn out well. But you know what? It's okay. Sometimes you try stuff and it works, and sometimes you try stuff and it doesn't. I'm not an artist. I was never trained as an artist. I have zero artistic ability. This is just kind of self-taught and watching videos and watching tutorials and, just, there's an expression, I can't remember where I read this. You do best what you do most. And so the only way for me to get better at coloring and to shake off a slump and to learn new things and to learn new techniques is to color. And I know that can be hard because you feel like, well, I just need to watch more tutorials. Now, tutorials are great, color alongs are great, but the only way you're going to learn to do it is to do it. That's what I find anyway. So yeah, you do best what you do most. If you want to get better at coloring, you gotta color. Try some stuff. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Maybe don't pick your favorite page in a book to try new stuff on. But, pick a page where you like the page, but if it goes all wrong, it's not a big deal. All right. that's it. That's it for July 2025 completed pages. Hope you guys liked the video. If you do, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, let a friend know, all that kind of stuff. I hope everyone is safe. I hope everyone is well. And I hope everyone is enjoying their coloring. Till next time, folks. Take care. Bye-bye.